What's up, boys? We're back. Today we're going to be talking about your guys' MMA hot takes. Let's get straight into it. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So the first hot take we have is by my friend Alex MMA. We're going to combine two of these hot takes. Alex MMA says Max Holloway is a top 8 fighter of all time. And the Hellraiser _209 says Max Holloway's boxing is overseen. So both of these obviously are about my man Max Holloway. And before I state this, I want to preface that I'm not a Max Holloway hater in any way. I actually like Max Holloway. So Max Holloway being top 8 fighter of all time, I don't think so, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Volky lost to Volkanovski 3 times, and when you lose to someone 3 times, can you really be top 10 of all time? Losing to the same guy 3 times. Max Holloway has done a lot, and if he can continue to keep doing what he's doing, maybe at lightweight, maybe even win a title, yeah, I can give him that status. I think most people value Max Holloway around top 15, maybe even top 20. He has one of the best moments in MMA history, knocking out Justin Gaethje cold, and Justin Gaethje is seen as one of the best fighters to ever win a title. So he has a pretty good resume as well. I rate his resume knocking out Jose Aldo twice, which a lot of people don't realize, and I do think those are good wins. And he's close. He really is close, and I'm just not gonna be able to give him. He's not top 8 of all time. That's my statement on that hot take. The next one is Max Holloway's boxing is overseen. Again, man, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree. I do not think Max Holloway's boxing is overseen. I think a lot of people rate Max Holloway's boxing. He's at least top 5 in the UFC. And going into that Topuria fight, we were debating, whoever wins this fight is the best boxer in the UFC. And Max Holloway got knocked out cold. So, I mean, that says a lot. Obviously, Topuria is a better boxing than him. A lot of people rate Max Holloway's boxing. Again, he's top 5 in the UFC probably. So, it's not overseen. I think it's really rated, actually. I think it may be a little overrated if you're asking me. Moving on to the next hot take we do have. No, that's not true, dude. I don't care what you say. Michael Chandler's not good. I don't know where we got this idea from. He has 2 wins in the UFC. One of them was against Tony Ferguson, and that was a wash, Tony Ferguson. And one of them was against Dan Hooker before he was really the Dan Hooker we all know and love today. I'm not going to be able to give him that, dude. I love Michael Chandler, too. I love his personality. I love him as a fighter. He's entertaining as heck, but he's not that good. He's an explosive wrestler with some great striking, and he has knockout power, and at any second, he can knock out Islam Makhachev, but you can say that about literally anyone in the UFC. In the UFC, and MMA sports in general, one punch is all it takes to end a fight, and Michael Chandler possesses it, obviously, but so does literally everyone else in the UFC. So, no, I don't think Michael Chandler is... you could argue Michael Chandler has good wrestling, but does he really have better wrestling than Islam Makhachev? No, that's the truth at the end of the day, dude. That's the honest, cold-hearted truth. And we're gonna move on to the next one, which is not really a hot take. This next one, the next one says Bobby Green is done by Jimmy Poole. Jimmy Poole, you're stating the obvious here, dude. Jimmy Poole, you're not some sort of genius after stating this. Bobby Green's been done since that Jalen Turner loss, dude. Bobby Green is a fraud. I don't know how he got a win over Jim Miller, to be honest, because Jim Miller's actually still pretty good. But Bobby Green sucks, dude. He just got embarrassed by Paddy Pimblett. How do you get embarrassed like that to Paddy Pimblett? If Paddy Pimblett does that to Michael Chandler, I'll retire this YouTube channel. That's how confident I am that was a fluke. And obviously, he just got KO'd the other day by Mauricio Ruffy. Brother, you're just stating the obvious, Jimmy. And Bobby Green's obviously done. Can't even call him King Green anymore because that guy's an idiot for changing his name. Moving on to the next one, though, we do have by Dot, the UFC downfall is on the way with the current champs, Rojamoji. I don't think so, dude. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't think so. I made a video about this yesterday, so if you want to hear my full opinion on it, then go watch that. But we're in a really bad place. That's what I said in my video, pretty much. But I don't think it's the end. I don't think the UFC downfall's anywhere near. Maybe if freaking like Khamzat beats Strickus and like Shamil Gaziv's the heavyweight champion, maybe we can argue that the UFC is on the downfall. But it's a really tough period for the champions right now, and I got a lot of hate on my last video talking about how I was wrong, but I'm serious, dude. I don't think we have a good set of champions right now. If you wanna agree with that or not, that's your opinion. But for me, I don't think the UFC champions, maybe they're good, but they're not entertaining, is what I mean to say. So that's my opinion on that. The next hot take we do have, presented by Walker Down Juan 23. What are these names, by the way? He says Islam is the only entertaining champ of the wrestling heavy style. So let's think. We have 2 other champs, Merab and Bilal, of the wrestling heavy style. I won't consider John Jones one of those, but Bilal and Merab. Merab, he's not that entertaining, dude. I don't know why. After one fight against Umar that was super entertaining, we think that he's just an absolutely bar burner of a fighter. That Sean O'Malley fight made me cry. That was one of the most boring, like, slow deaths I've ever seen. Merab's not entertaining. And Bully B, I love you, Bully B, but Bilal Muhammad is not entertaining, dude. Are we serious, dude? It was entertaining seeing him ragdoll Bilal Muhammad for 5 rounds. But overall, he's not entertaining, dude. He's a decision merchant. So, I'm going to go with yes. Obviously, I feel like this is kind of known. Islam is the only entertaining champ. A lot of people, like, are already, like, accustomed to the belief that Islam's boring because of his relation to Khabib. And for some reason, people just, like, think Dagestani fighters are boring. But that's not true. Islam Makhachev, he finished Moicano in his last fight by Darce choke. He finished Dustin Poirier in the fight before that by Darce choke. The fight before that, he knocked out Volkanovski. Yeah, you can't consider this guy boring, dude. This guy's entertaining as heck. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with this one. My final hot take is Conor McGregor is overrated. Yes. No. Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, so Conor McGregor, obviously, his peak is one of the best in UFC history. We know that. He has wins over Dustin Poirier. He has wins over Jose Aldo. He has wins over who else, dude? Who else did this guy beat? Chad Mendes, I guess we'll say. Nate Diaz. This guy was a legend back in the day, and he had some really high moments in his career. But when you look at the low moments, you realize that this guy lost to Khabib. He lost to Dustin Poirier twice, which aren't necessarily bad losses. And, I don't know. Conor McGregor is not that highly rated amongst actual talking about if he's up there in top 10 of all time. No one has him in his top 10 of all time. If you have Conor McGregor in your top 10 of all time, you're a casual. So I don't think he's necessarily overrated. I might go with he's underrated, actually, because a lot of people think Conor McGregor was just a guy who was good for a couple years, then he fell off, and now he's a meme. No, Conor McGregor was actually one of the best of all time. He's in my top 20, I think, but top 10, definitely not. Conor McGregor is a legend of the sport, and what he did in his time, he revolutionized the sport. So I'll give him, he's actually pretty underrated if you ask me. He's not obviously up there with the greatest of all time, but he's still up there with top 20, But, that's my opinion on Conor McGregor. I do think Conor McGregor is underrated. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you boys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Octagon Outpost out.